Good morning, everybody. Time to sneak another mock draft into the video rotation. It's been a couple weeks. We've got new information, and it's time to put a different spin on things as we continue to approach the actual date of the draft. So, this will be mock draft 6.0. I'm going to try to mix it up a little bit, but again, we are getting closer to the actual draft. So it's my intention to try to produce things that I think have a high probability of happening based off what we are hearing from the Seahawks and what we are understanding about what their priorities might be and what they are looking at. So, mock draft 6.0 is on deck here. Let's go ahead and get things started with a decision at number 5 that I haven't made in any mock yet. We are going a new direction here. That's right. Will Anderson Jr., the edge out of Alabama. So, Will Anderson Jr., here's the thing. The only way he really falls to us is if Arizona trades out. And there's a lot of reason to believe Arizona will trade out. With a team like the Titans needing a quarterback, there are teams like the Falcons that might need a quarterback. Maybe even a team like the Raiders needing a quarterback. There is a real possibility Arizona trades out of the top 5 with a quarterback-hungry team. And if that happens, there's a very good chance the first 4 picks in the draft go quarterback, 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 and then you've got Will Anderson Jr. and Jalen Carter sitting there at 5. And I've said for a while now that at this point, because of the uncertainty around Jalen Carter, if both guys are there, I would rather take Anderson. I feel safer with that. I feel like Anderson's basically guaranteed to be I don't want to say an all-pro level player, but a Pro Bowl level player in the NFL. And look, we can move things around on the edge, no problem. We can trade a guy like Darrell Taylor. We can even trade a Uchenna Nwosu if we want to. But we can make room for Will Anderson, trust me. Some people are going to say, oh, we already got enough edges, and we do. But we can make room for a Will Anderson who is much better and has much higher potential than anybody currently on this team. So Will Anderson Jr. is my pick in my top pick in this mock draft. It's a new angle. Look, in order for it to happen, you are probably going to need Arizona to trade out. I'm not saying it's super likely, but there is definitely a clear scenario where the first 4 picks in this draft are quarterback, 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 and then you can pick any non-quarterback that you want at number 5. Okay, next pick, round 1, pick 20, Calijah Kancey, defensive lineman from Pittsburgh. I've had him mocked to Seattle in a couple of previous mocks. Honestly, the way things are going, it wouldn't shock me if his value goes up to the point where you can't get him at 20. For now, it seems reasonable. Like, he's peaking right now on the mock draft database at like 22 or something. So, as of right now, it's feasible. By the time we get to the draft, I would not be shocked if Kancey's value has gone all the way up. But we need defensive line, period. And Kancey is rapidly becoming my favorite in terms of value, assuming that you're able to get him in the teens or later. I'm not really worried about his arms. Not really worried about some of the physical shortcomings with him. He's just so hard to deal with in the interior. I think he would immediately be a starter for our defensive line with Draymond Jones. And then backing him up, you've got Jarran Reed and maybe another rookie. And you've got an NFL caliber defensive line at least, I think, with Kancey and Draymond Jones starting. It's not a great defensive line by any stretch of the imaginations. I would like to see more work done on it. I don't know if there's anything we can do at this point to make this defensive line really great, but this can make it at the very least NFL caliber if you make that pick, I think. Okay, round 2, pick 37. We've got a linebacker, and it's one I have not yet mocked to us once, but this is a guy who's grown on me during the draft process. At first, I didn't get it, but now I think I do. It's Drew Sanders, linebacker from Arkansas. Very interesting tape. Upside out the wazoo because he hasn't been playing inside linebacker for that long, and he was like an edge rusher at Alabama. Now that we have Bobby Wagner in the fold, I'm a little more comfortable saying, hey, let's go get somebody who's going to be a little bit of a work in progress. I do think Drew Sanders is going to need some time to become a really good NFL player, but he should become one. And learning under Bobby Wagner is a unique opportunity that I think could bring out the best in him. And once Drew Sanders is fully unleashed, I think that he has the potential to be in the same kind of athletic, super athletic, positionless zone as Trenton Simpson. Maybe not that extreme, but he can do a lot of the things that Trenton Simpson does. So I don't know if he's going to make a big contribution as a rookie, which is not great, but I think we can survive for a year with Bobby Wagner, Devin Bush, and eventually maybe Jordan Brooks. It's not great. I don't feel amazing about it, but it's a little more feasible than what we were doing before we got Wagner, when I felt like we needed somebody who could start day one. Drew Sanders, we can give a little bit of time to. Okay, round 2, pick 52. The other second round pick, I've got Keanu Benton, nose tackle from Wisconsin. This is a guy that a lot of Seahawks fans have mocked to us in their mocks. I personally haven't done it yet until now, but he makes a ton of sense. He's a great nose tackle. He's a great run stuffer. Wisconsin, under his guidance, was one of the best run defenses in the league by far. They gave up like less than 3 yards a carry the last 2 years. They were dominant. Absolutely dominant in the trenches, and Benton was a big reason why. He's undersized. He's not the perfect size for what you would expect in a nose tackle, but he finds ways to overcome it. And he's also giving you a little bit of push in the pocket as a pass rusher. Not a ton, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to go crazy here, but Keanu Benton is, after Mazi Smith, the best nose tackle in this class, and he actually gives you a more multi-dimensional talent than Mazi Smith. So Keanu Benton, if you don't get Mazi Smith in the early second or late first, I think Keanu Benton kind of becomes a must, because again, I'm going to keep hammering this. We literally don't have a nose tackle that's going to be healthy week 1. Like, we got Brian Monet, who's, you can basically forget about him. He basically doesn't exist. I'm not expecting him to get back health-wise this year. So, I don't know. You got to do something, and I think Keanu Benton's a really good something. Round 3, last pick of day 3 here. We've got a center. We need one. We only have one center on the team, unless you count Joey Hunt, which I don't. And look, we're going to need somebody who's a long-term solution here. Luke Whippler is definitely that long-term solution. He can sit behind Evan Brown for a year. We all know that Carroll doesn't really like having rookie centers. He wants to have centers with at least some experience. So Whippler gets to sit. And that's going to be great for him, I think. He's going to learn behind a decent enough center in Evan Brown. I like Evan Brown more than some people, I think. And Whippler should project to fit in quite well with the offense. He should fit in quite well with the scheme that we currently have. And I think that he will probably become the starter in year 2. So you've mostly addressed defense with your first 4 picks, and it's time to make sure you pay attention to that offense as well. We definitely need to bolster the interior offensive line here. We need depth. We need plans for the future. I think all of our starting interior offensive linemen right now are free agents next year. You need to give yourself some rookie options in that pool so you're not married to bringing mediocre players back just because, oh, well, they're there and they have experience and we're familiar with them and da-da-da-da-da. No. You need rookies to build experience as bench players in 2023 so you can start them in 2024. And Whippler would fit that role great. All right, day 3 now. We're moving on to round 4, pick 121. I believe I've mocked this guy to the Seahawks before, but it's been a while. Jayden Reed, wide receiver from Michigan State, one of my favorite slot options in this area of the draft. If Marvin Mims doesn't fall to the 4th round, and at this point I don't think he will, I think Jayden Reed is kind of like the slightly lesser version of Marvin Mims in the 4th. Great punt and kick returner. A lot of cool stuff happening in the open field with him. Obviously, there are some drawbacks. He's not a super good athlete, although I feel like when he hits the football field, he does a little bit better than expected in terms of his agility and his speed. So you're getting special teams value and you're getting wide receiver value. It wouldn't shock me if Jayden Reed's starting day 1 as your slot receiver. Well, not starting, but he's your slot receiver. And I think that Jayden Reed can definitely fill that role adequately. I like him a lot. The Combine, I think, kind of knocked him out of contention for being a day 2 pick. Admittedly, it wasn't a great Combine, but I'm not going to be terribly deterred by it personally. I think that when he gets on a football field, he's going to do things good enough to be worth a pick here. And I think he can be reasonably productive as a rookie. So Jayden Reed, round 4, pick 121. Feel pretty good about him being able to fill the Marquise Goodwin-sized hole in the offense. Now we're moving on to round 5, and here's a running back that I talked up a little bit when I was making my draft analysis videos earlier this week, but I haven't spoken about him all that much before then. It's Israel Abikanda, running back from Pittsburgh, another Pittsburgh player, really well-rounded running back prospect. He's got pretty good speed and agility, pretty good acceleration, but he's also got the ability to run with power. He's going to be a decent option on short yardage, I think. I think that if you're looking at this offense, it's like, okay, K9 is your workhorse, DJ Dallas is your third down back, and Israel Abikanda is your power back or your short yardage back or however you want to put it. I think you got something. Israel Abikanda can do that. He's not the best power back in this class. There are a couple I like more, like Roschon Johnson. But I think you can get Abikanda in the 5th round. He's really young. He's like 20 years old or something. And I believe that his all-around game is going to translate really well. He has upside, too. He could become a stud in a couple of years here. I think he could become a bell cow. Well, maybe not a bell cow, but a lead back. So Israel Abikanda is one of my favorite day 3 running backs at this point. And if you can get him in the 5th round, I'm feeling great about that. So I think he helps really bring the room together in the running back room together, rather, and I feel good about it. Okay, a couple picks later, we've got Braden Daniels, left guard from Utah. I think he'll be quality, versatile offensive line depth, at least at first. And he has a chance, not a huge chance, I'm not going to go crazy with it, but there's an opportunity for him to develop into a starter. He's going to be good in a zone scheme, I think. He's got the talents that you look for in a zone. Tomorrow I'm going to make a video where I talk about him a little bit more. But basically, he's got good mobility. He plays well in space. Smart player. Tested well. Just not super strong. Can get bullied a little bit. But that's something I can live with in a zone scheme. So yeah, Braden Daniels becomes your backup left guard to Damian Lewis, and possibly could start by year 2 if he develops well. It's at least on the table for me. So that's a quality depth pick in round 5. Fills a needed gap on this team as your backup left guard. Round 6. We're bringing in one of my favorite sleeper defensive linemen, Jalen Redmond, defensive lineman from Oklahoma. He was a superstar coming out of high school, and then he just didn't get there as a college player at Oklahoma. Still has a lot of the talent that made him a 5-star recruit out of high school. It's going to need the right system, the right circumstance, the right environment, the right coaching to bring it out. Can we do it? Maybe. But the thing about Jalen Redmond is he has star potential. I don't think it's likely he gets there, but unlike most guys you get in the 6th round, he has the upside to maybe become a star in this league. So you get him, you're developing him. He's not necessarily going to give you much as a rookie, but Jalen Redmond could blossom into a star by year 2, year 3. I think it's at least on the table here. I'm not going to act like I'm not going to bet on it or anything, but he has that upside, which separates him from other round 6 guys. Final pick, round 7, pick 237. I've got one of my favorite sleeper nose tackles, Gerard Clark from Coastal Carolina. We need another nose tackle, guys. We need more than one. I don't think Keanu Benton can take every nose tackle snap, and I don't think we can get away with only having one true nose tackle. There are going to be enough running plays over the course of a season. There are going to be enough running downs to where you need to have another decent option. And Gerard Clark, I really liked him during the scouting process. I was really impressed with what I saw from him. Shockingly effective, shockingly versatile for a guy who I think will be there in the 7th round. There are some reasons why he's going to be there in the 7th round, but I feel like he could actually make modest contributions as a rookie. Nothing over the top, nothing crazy, but I would make him my round 7 pick, and that is my mock draft version 6.0. Feeling pretty good about it. Let me know what you guys think. See you guys later. Go Hawks.